Hello, I'm BXToyCat and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the 1.8 update for Minecraft Xbox and Minecraft PlayStation. Because if you don't know, 4J Studios recently confirmed the next big update they're currently working on is actually going to be based on the 1.8 version from the PC. If you don't know, this is the current version they're running, and it is massive news because it essentially means two of the biggest PC updates ever in one for the console, and it brings us up to date with the PC. Very, very big news, but I figured I'd run through exactly what's included with this massive update so you can know what to expect and what to look forward to in today's video. So first of all, please do like the video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like it and want to see more stuff like this. But let's get straight into the video, shall we? So we're going to have to go through this in two steps. The 1.7 stuff that we don't have, because we do have some 1.7 stuff, and then we're going to go through the 1.8 update so you can know all of the very exciting things to expect. However, we are going to start the 1.7 update because it contains the biggest individual feature in here, because it's lots of different features under the same umbrella, and that is new biomes. So these came out in 1.7, or the update that changed the world, and they really have changed the look and feel of a PC world since then. They've added meta biomes, roof forest. I've gone over it so many times, but basically this more than doubles the number of biomes and makes the world a more exciting place to go through. So yeah, it's a massive, massive feature, but for now, just know it as new biomes. The world will look and feel entirely different after this update. So quite a few people have the theory that, the new biomes will be brought forward and they're going to be in one of the smaller updates, but to me, I don't think new biomes are a small feature. They are a massive feature. They're probably the biggest feature in this entire 1.8 update, so they could be coming earlier, they could be a smaller feature, but I imagine they would be coming with the rest of things, because they want to change the world generation as little as possible, at least I would in my opinion. So there are a few small features in this 1.7 update that could come early, such as the new potion. They added a new potion, which was for water breathing, and there are also things like the new enchantments for fishing rods, but the big thing in this 1.7 update was the new biomes, and I think it's too big to be coming by itself. So yeah, for the most part, the only features we're really looking forward to in 1.7 that we don't have are, that, fishing, potions, and the amplified world type. So the amplified world type is one we might not be getting because it does require a very, it requires a decent PC to run, and it doubles the world generation times, which is kind of bad on the consoles. But basically, instead of the current biome system where everything's kind of flat, it makes everything crazy extreme hill version. Like you can have extremely high, deserts and stuff. You can have villages where one half of the village is like 40 blocks above the other. It's very, very crazy, but it's a pretty fun thing. So yeah, that's amplified, which when paired with the new biomes makes for a very, very different way to play the game. And then besides that, just a lot of smaller features, fishing, enchantments, all that's water-breathing potion, just a lot of smaller features in 1.7. 1.7 wasn't the biggest update, but what was the biggest update is 1.8. So I believe this is one of the biggest updates that have ever come out for PC, and it's called the Bountiful update. So the Bountiful update is the longest time they've ever spent working on an update. It took close to a year between the release of 1.7 and 1.8, and it did bring in a lot of really cool things, a lot of just key parts of what we consider to be Minecraft right now. And we'll start with one of the kind of big ones, because it's not necessarily a good change, but I do like it and a lot of people do like it, which is the new Enchantment System. So in 1.8, instead of just getting 30 levels, you need to have 1 to 3 levels of XP, which are then harder to get, and you need to have 1 to 3 pieces of lapis lazuli too. This means lapis finally has a use. It's not just a blue dye that you have far too much of. It actually has a use in enchanting, and I think it's pretty cool if you ask me. As well as just a new enchantment system, they changed a lot of things to do with enchanting itself, so you can get efficiency 5 without having to combine 2 axes or pickaxes or whatever. You can get the depth strider enchantment, which means you can go underwater easier, which will be useful for everything I'll mention in a second. And you can also just get a lot of different, repairing and stuff, things done a lot easier, because they changed the whole level system because it was kind of outdated. And yeah, I like the new one a lot better that comes with 1.8. But yeah, so what is the feature that I mentioned is a lot easier to, be done with the depth strider enchantment. It is the ocean monument. So yeah, this is one of those features which contains so many features inside it, because the the underwater ocean monument, also known as the water temple, is basically one of the biggest, generated structures that has so many things going on with it. So we'll start with just the blocks it comes with, because it does spawn with a bunch of brand new blocks. It's got prismarine, it's got prismarine bricks, it's got dark prismarine, and it's got sea lanterns, as well as inside there is the only natural spawning source of the sponge in survival. That's right, they're bringing the sponge back, and it can actually absorb water in this update. But the key thing you need to bear in mind is that this, this place is very well guarded. It has guardians, which is a pretty clever name because they guard it, and elder guardians. A single elder guardian protect it. These things are very, very crazy because they're underwater. They have a strong advantage because they're meant to swim there. Without a depth strider and a water breathing potion, you're kind of at a serious disadvantage. It's a fun challenge, but you're also probably going to die. And yeah, basically, you want to get inside this place. You want to take its rare resources, and you just want to be going as soon as you can. And make sure you bring armor, basically, because they are designed to kill you, even if you've got a decent amount on normal. So yeah, Ocean Monument's a crazy place with 2 of the brand new mobs in this update. There are 4, but we'll go into more of those later. Another big change, the way the world generates, which is big for some, not so big for others, is as well as just right now when you go underground, you find dirt, stone, gravel, and then just a bunch of different ores. Now they're adding kind of like as a replacement for gravel, but only sometimes, are granite, andesite, and diorite. So these are 3 cool looking resources you can find underground only. They find little pockets, so if you want to make a diorite house or something, that's something you can do. It's just cool to have 3 new blocks, because if you like the look of one of them, you can use it. If you don't like the look, you can ignore them. It's kind of like just mining through stone. I like the update quite a lot because of this thing. But also, another big change to the way the world generates is one that you can choose. So in the same way we have customized superflats right now, and there's so much potential even though it's a flat world, there is the customized world option. So instead of just limiting it to super flat, this means you can customize your world in so many different ways. So first of all, you can customize the sort of, like the height of the biomes you want. You can make it amplified if you really want to. That's your whole choice. But you can also, decide how much the structures generate, like we can with the custom superflat. But then, instead of just being like, I want a layer of, diamonds, which is far too much, you can alter the spawn rates for stuff like diamonds. You can make diamonds rarer. You can make them 10 times more common. You can just make coal extinct. You can have no coal in your world, charcoal only. You can have as much iron, as little iron as you want, and you can just, change the distributions of these things, which is pretty cool in my opinion. You can make it so they spawn more often, but in smaller veins. There is just so many options you can do with this, whether it's, setting the heights of different, peaks, setting the, the variance, setting the vein size, the height range, you can just customize pretty much anything to do with your world, and you can do some really amazing things with this, especially on the console using our GUI version. It will be amazing. I don't know if this feature is guaranteed to be included. It is going to be a lot of work, but if it is, customized world type will probably be one of the coolest features in this update for people like me who like to make fun challenges, and even for people, pretty much anyone. If you want to have a fun time, the customized world type is going to be there for you, which is always pretty cool. So as well as the customized world type, we're also going to have quite a few new blocks that can be had in this update. So these kind of will just come with the new biomes, so you might think of them like that. But there are a few blocks that didn't come in new biomes that were added later. So stuff like Coarse Dirt. This is found in the Mega Taiga biomes and sometimes in the Savannah biomes. That's a pretty cool way to basically have no. It's dirt that doesn't turn into into grass eventually. It stays as dirt forever. That's kind of useful for some things, and it's just it's a different looking dirt block basically. But as well as that, we have red sandstone. So we have red sand. Turn that into red sandstone. Only done the 1.8 update. And then there's also the sponge and the wet sponge. I mentioned you can find the wet sponges below the water. You can turn those with a furnace back into sponges and use them to absorb a bunch of water all at once. It's very, very cool. But as well as that, new blocks we're having, which are pretty cool, include these slime blocks. So these slime blocks are 9 slime balls together, kind of like a redstone block. But the really cool thing about these blocks is if you fall on a slime block, even if it's from 200 blocks, you do not take falling damage. And instead, a lot of that falling you do take is reversed into the slime block, and you bounce back up over and over again, kind of like a trampoline. It's pretty cool in my opinion because you can combine this with pistons and redstone to do some amazing things with jumping you super high. And I just really, really do like the slime block. There's going to be a lot of potential of this stuff, and honestly, just to play around with, it's going to be pretty cool. So, that is the slime block right there. It's one of the cool blocks, but also some blocks I know a lot of people like for visual reasons are the banner, which is kind of what I like to describe as a combination between a sign and a painting. So it's a block you place down, but it has the big banner thing on it, which can be stuff like with a skeleton skull face, a creeper face, the Mojang logo, an enchanted golden apple, stuff like that. But then it kind of sits there in its own block. It's pretty cool in my opinion. You can change the painting and stuff, but I do like it. There's the barrier block, which is creative only, which is basically bedrock that you can't see, or that you see through. It's just so you can stop people from going in certain directions on adventure maps. Pretty cool if you make that sort of thing. And there's also the armor stand, which is kind of similar, except instead of showing off a banner off the Mojang thing, there is you can show off your diamond enchanted armor on a thing. You can have 10 sets of diamond enchanted armor like that. I think I'm going to do that in my Let's Play world just to be a show off or something. But I do like the idea of having lots and lots of banners in one place. Lots of armor stands in one place. It's a cool way to show off your armor to someone. It's just a cool thing to have in a lot of places. And armor stand, definitely a cool block, but it's again decorative like the banner. So as well as lots of blocks I mentioned, we also have the 3 new mobs. I've only only mentioned the Guardian and the Elder Garden so far. We actually also have the Rabbit, which has a lot of things coming with it, and we have the Endermite too. So the Endermite's a balance for the Ender Pearl, because every time you Ender Pearl, you have a small chance of getting an Endermite, and then the Rabbit is just a cool non-hostile mob you'll find sometimes that does, it turns into a Berserk Rabbit when you attack it, so don't do that, but it does offer you some new things, such as Raw Rabbit, which can be cooked into rabbit stew, and just a cooked rabbit in general, and also the Rabbit Foot. So the Rabbit Foot can be, in fact, taken and turned into a Potion of Leaping, another brand new potion coming this update. That's 2 right there. And yeah, 2 new mobs with quite a few new features each. The Endermite's probably one of the least featuring mobs ever, because it's just a silverfish, which sometimes spawns really, that looks kind of purple. It's cool, but there's not really too much going on there with it. So, as well as, all the things that come with the rabbit, all those things, there are just a few more features I'd like to mention. So, they changed a lot of food. They nerfed the cooked potato. It does a little less healing now, because it was just too easy to get for the thing. They nerfed the carrot in the same vein. They made it so when you, kill a sheep, you can get raw and cooked mutton, which are the same level of healing as a cooked chicken and a cooked rabbit, so not quite as good as steak, but maybe up there if you want to go kill some sheep, which I think is a nice change, because when you kill a sheep you feel like you should get something for it. And then from here there's lots of other minor changes to the game, like I mentioned with the Enchanting System. There's a slight change to the anvil repair system. Villager traders will now have specific professions, so right now you have a farmer which has like 5 different trades, which none of them really make too much sense together. Now there are separate farmers, separate fishermen, separate shepherds, and they are distinct from each other, and I guess it makes slightly more sense. It's just basically a way to get more trades and more clearly distinguished from each other. And also the villages change in general. Also the life bar actually has a different animation. Just lots and lots of small changes to the game that you will notice, but going through them is going to take me a long time. So for today's video, lots of major changes, 3 new mobs, a bunch of new blocks, as well as an entirely changed biome system, as well as an entirely new way to create worlds, as well as just an entirely new structured create. Just lots and lots of new things. This is a massive update with lots of things coming in it. If you want a quick release date prediction, because people always ask for this, because of the fact that last time they announced the 1.6 update, something like I think it was 2.5 months before it came out, they announced this one in middle of September. I would say November seems quite likely, maybe a December, maybe even a January, but honestly I'd say more than 3 or 4 months from now is very unlikely. So yeah, this massive update, which brings us up to date at the PC, pretty much any PC feature you can come up will be included, is going to be coming out quite soon, probably before the 1.9 PC update, and yeah, very, very exciting stuff all around. I'm looking forward to this update personally. I hope all of you are too. Let me know in the comments down below what you're most excited for, and also please do like the video if you do like it, because it does help out the channel a lot, and lets me know you do like it. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.